is going on, guys? It's Jake coming back with another commentary over the Arizona footage. I found some of the rest of the footage that I didn't upload before, so I'm going to be talking over this footage again. Now, if you didn't watch the first episode, go back and watch that. I uploaded that like a week or two ago. It should be right underneath this video. Now, basically what happened, long story short, to get you up to speed, I'm playing with some guys in Arizona. I'm on the west side of the state. They're getting ready for WCPPL, which is a tournament over there on the west coast for those guys. I live in Michigan, so I don't play this tournament. So I was just sort of doing my thing. I'm playing with a mixture of new people and experienced people, as well as experienced as in the pro team Scottsdale Elevation was out there at some point. I had some points with them. That was on the last video. Now, just a heads up, I don't play the Dorito side of the field all too often. It's rare that you see me play the D side, but I ended up playing the D side a lot because they had their snake side guys practicing and preparing for the tournament. So I was like, sweet, that's cool. I'll let you guys do that. I'll just try to, fiddle my way around and sort of make it look like I know what I'm doing on the Dorito side. So I'm going to sort of talk over the very little knowledge that I have over on the Dorito side of the field. But it was a fun day nonetheless. I'm playing with the Phoenix Rising guys on this point, so I'm playing with the more experienced guys. Start off keeping my head down the field, slide into this awesome overly inflated bunker and without my hopper on. But, I suck, but I still shoot this guy in the corner somehow, even with having my hopper off. And the communication was kind of dull, and you can see I start to get low, and I'm looking for that lane. There was actually a little lane shooting like that first Dorito bunker that I was trying to get into, but it was short, and it was sort of shooting if I was running like on the inside of the field. So I was like, so I run on the outside. I run on the tape side of the field, and I end up getting into that Dorito. No one's shooting at me. And again, I'm looking for like some of the communication, but honestly, even if they were communicating and like they were yelling at me the whole time, I honestly still want to know like 90% of their callouts, because they use different callouts for a lot of their bunkers. Like they use like Arizona, California, like a bunch of different things, and every team is different. So, and I was playing with like 3 or 4 different squads this day, so I was like, alright, I'm like confused as fuck. But so I'm still moving down the Dorito side, and I was like, alright, I'm being cautious. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm like at the 50 side of the field already and I haven't really been shot. Like, where's their Dorito players at? But I keep on moving, and I was like, this is kind of weird, like, that I shoot the only person on the Dorito side of the field. Did they only send one D-side player? Sure enough, they did. But so I'm on a 100 call-out, but I didn't know that because people were still over there screaming bunker names, and I heard a Dorito side call-out, so I'm like, alright, well, this is cool, and I start getting shot at. And again, I'm sitting here thinking that there's someone in the Dorito side. I'm trying to shoot this guy over on the snake side. Really, I'm on a 100 call out and I need to run down the field. But again, I don't know that. So I'm sitting here trying to play somewhat cautious. And I'm like, alright, instead of running down the field like a retard, I'm going to move over to this bunker. I slide in trying to get a shot off on the snake because I still had another D-side guy behind me. So I knew by me getting into this bunker, we wouldn't necessarily lose a gun on the Dorito side. We would. But this is when I start noticing, I start looking over and I'm like, these Dorito bunkers are seriously empty AF. I'm like, this is cool. So I start looking around. I'm looking for the kills. They start yelling at me, Jake, shoot the Arizona. And I'm like, I have no idea what the Arizona is. So I'm like, yeah, I'll start shooting at the Arizona. And once they ended up shooting at it, I was like, all right, sweet. So I figured out what bunker it was. And of course, awesome reloading skills right here. You can see my pod get stuck, and like you can see me fighting it in the not the reflection. What's the shadow? The shadow that the sun was casting. I finally get my pod up there after a whole 2-minute reload. Professional skills right there. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess I really am on a 100 call out. I'm loaded up. I have paint. So I might as well go shoot this guy and try to finish out the game. He gets shot right about here, but I didn't know that, so I go running and I shoot the piss out of him in the back, unfortunately. Sorry, my man, didn't do that on purpose. So that was the end of the game. That game could have been played a lot better by me, but again, I don't play the Dorito side of the field, and I didn't know, like, there wasn't really a lot of communication. Now, if you recall in the last video, I shot out the snake side corner like every single point that I was playing. And I was like, alright, people just suck at playing the snake side corner. And I kept shooting the snake side corner on the side of the field that I'm going to take. You're going to watch me take the snake side corner, and you're going to see why I was getting so many kills. and it's just, you'll see. So I go off the break. I think I ended up shooting someone on the break. I can't remember. It was either this game or one of the other games. It doesn't really matter. But I'm shooting. I'm like, sweet, I'm playing with the newer kids this game. These guys really, this was like one of their first times playing. And I'm trying to get them to start moving over because I want to take that tall temple so I can start working my way into the snake. And I'm just sitting here pissing my paint away in the snake, their snake guy. I'm like, alright, cool. I'm really not doing anything. I'm just shooting where I think he's at in the snake 1/snake 2. My guys really aren't moving on the snake side of the field, so I'm like, sweet, I have to start making something happen. I'm like, screw it, I guess I'll just take the snake side corner and see what happens. And I start looking the field, no one's shooting at me. I take a big chunk, and I'm like, wow, this bunker's half deflated, this is cool. So I have to play like 2 feet off of the bunker, and I almost get snapped out right there because of how I have to play this bunker. Because the Dorito side can kill me really easily because how it's leaning. This bunker's leaning more than the leaning tower. So I'm like, alright, well, this is really cool. It's half deflated. So I'm looking at the Dorito side, trying to get ready to kill the Dorito side before he kills me. Looking down the snake. There's a little lane. You can't really see. You can actually kind of see it. Over, he's shooting not the S1, but that S2. He's shooting over top of that, so I'm like, I can dive and get in there, but, you know, my guy takes it before me because I was just being slow, and I was like, sweet, I'm going to look Dorito side, bam, get whacked from the Dorito side. So I was like, wow, that's cool, that bunker really sucks. So I take the walk of shame, put my head down, and swear at myself and be like, wow, I suck. Next game, come off the break, shooting snake side of the field again. Now you can see I wasn't expecting them to go right to the S1 off the break, but they pushed snake side hard. They basically did the same format that we did, the same breakout. They sent a few guys to this, and you can see this is actually really funny. My paint didn't go into my hopper; it stayed in the pod. My paint basically was all clumped up in a dildo-shaped, you know, pod way, because I don't know how to explain it, but it all clumped together and it all formed inside the pod just because of the heat. I didn't pull that pod fast enough, I guess. I don't really know. It just kind of baked in there and stuck together. And I'm like, alright, we need to make something happen on the Dorito side because they had a big snake side push. We end up shooting the snake guy. I can't remember if it was me or this other dude that was sitting over there shooting on the snake side. I'm like, alright. They just put a lot of their bodies on the snake side of the field. Now, what I was saying is, they basically did the same breakout. They sent one guy to the snake one, they sent another guy to, like, I don't know, the tower or something, and then they had their god, or like some god guy or whatever, and one guy laning, staying at the home bunker like I was doing. So they had a heavy snake side shooter over there. They had like 3 to 4 people over there. I'm like, alright, so I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to play the Dorito side. I like doing this when I'm playing home. And I'm like, sweet, they sent a lot of bodies over there, so I can start running the Dorito side. We need to start attacking the Dorito side because we can get a 5, now we switch sides of the field. Now we can get a 500 call out and I can start running down the field. My paint's shooting like shit because it was left out. It wasn't really left out in the sun, it's just 95 degrees. I'm playing in the middle of the fucking desert. What do you expect? And so I'm trying to get, some kills over here. There's one snake side corner, or not, there's one guy in the snake side corner that I'm trying to get into the bunker so I can shoot because I know how that snake side corner plays now, and I know it's easy to kill it from the Doritos. But there's a Dorito side corner. That's basically the only guy that's over here on the Dorito side. So I'm like, sweet, I'm going to start hunting. So I try to start hunting, and I try to start helping coach my teammate that doesn't know really, the newer guy who doesn't really know how to play the Dorito side of the field. Me not being a Dorito side player, I'm trying to coach him on how to play the Dorito side. So it's basically the blind leading the blind. It's like, 2 autistic kids trying to, lead each other down over here. So it's just not really working out. I'm just like, hey, we should really take the next bunker. And, I'm like, hey, we should really shoot the inside, and I'll shoot the outside, and it was just, like, all over the place, but whatever. We, still kind of cool. He ends up moving. I'm like, sweet, I'm going to go hunting some more. And I didn't walk the field before this day, so I was just like, yeah, that really big bunker that I took last point, that looks like a really good bunker because I can sort of shoot the snake side and I might be able to get a shot in on that Dorito side corner. So I'm like, sweet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to that big giant-ass brick bunker again, and I'm going to try to close out the game. So I'm trying to shoot this guy in that Dorito side corner. I have no idea what the fuck is going on the snake side right now because no one's communicating again. So I'm like, that bunker looks really hot right now. That looks like a sexy bunker. I should take that. So I get ready. I'm looking around. I'm like, no one's really shooting, so I'm just going to move over here. My sock wasn't up high enough, so when I dove into here, I scraped my leg all over that nice 95-degree turf, and I ended up skinning myself. I still have a scar from it, and I do all that work to get there, and I'm like, sweet. I don't actually have a shot on the Dorito side corner.
Hey, Dorito
so I'm sitting here like, well, now I just look retarded. At least I got a cool picture of me sliding into this bunker, though. And I'm just sort of like, all right, well, maybe this guy will get sloppy. I'm looking at both sides of the field. I have no idea who's alive. I think there's still a snake corner, but at this point, the snake corner was already shot. And I'm like, all right, well, I know that's you know, Dorito side corner, and someone else shot him. So that's pretty much the end of that game. So as you can tell, I'm not the best Dorito side player. But here pretty soon, I'm going to be bringing you some Lone Wolf indoor footage of me playing on the snake side. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.